It's time to start something new. Trust the magic of new beginnings, and with it comes unmatched opportunities. A very good morning and a warm welcome to one and all converged here. Today is the day we embark together on a new voyage with the inaugural ceremony of the RA Association of the academic year 2021 to 2022. Let's begin this propitious event with a heartening welcome address from the Secretary, Mr. Kaushik Karan.
You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. With this quote, I like to begin. A warm good morning to one and all present here. I would like to start by narrating a short story. In the 1940s, there was a man who at the age of 65 was living off $99 Social Security checks in a small house, driving a beat-up car. He decided it was time to make a change. So he thought about what offer that other people may benefit from. His mind went to fried chicken recipe, which his friends and family loved. He left his home state of Kentucky and traveled throughout the country trying to sell his recipe to restaurants. He offered his recipe for free, and in fact, 1,009 restaurants said no. But even after all the rejections, he persisted. Yes, he believed in himself and his chicken recipe. When he visited the 1,110 restaurant, he got a yes. His name? Colonel Heartland Sanders, the founder of KFC. Nothing is impossible as long as we decide to start and work towards it. I feel extremely proud and honored in welcoming you all for the inaugural function of the Robotics and Automation Engineering Association for the academic year 2021-2022. Today is the inception of a new journey, and we learn to look forward and work towards the future to find out and experience novel things. On behalf of RAA Association of PSG College of Technology, I'm extremely delighted and take immense pleasure in welcoming our distinguished and treasured chief guest, Mr. Arun Damodaran, Director, Managed Application and Services, Denso Robotics, and founder of AI Tech Group. Thank you, sir, for taking your valuable time to encourage us amidst your busy schedule. Next, I would like to welcome our HOD, Dr. Vinod sir, who has always encouraged us to put part of the way. I welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome our program coordinator, Dr. Subhashini, who has been a major supportive pillar for us. I welcome you, ma'am. Next, I would like to welcome our faculty advisor, Dr. Prabhakaran sir, without whom the association would not achieve half of its milestone. I welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome all the RAA faculties present here who play the major role of guiding us all the way throughout our college life. I welcome all the teachers. Last but not the least, I would like to welcome all the students of RAA department present here because without you, nothing would be possible. I welcome you all. Thank you all for being part of this event. With no further ado, I once again welcome you all for the inauguration ceremony of the RAA Association for the academic year 2021-2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kaushik Karan, for rolling out the red carpet of welcome. Teamwork divides the task and multiplies the success. This year, we have a gregarious team all set to work together for the furtherance of not only the association but also the society. Now it's time to felicitate the office bearers of the RE Association for the academic year 2021 to 2022. I now invite our esteemed faculty advisor, Dr. S. Prabhakaran, to introduce them.
Thank you, Varun. A warm and pleasant morning, one and all present here. We start another year of association activities with this guest lecture, and I am honored to welcome today's chief guest, Mr. Arun Damodaran, for accepting to address this gathering among his busy schedule. I also extend a hearty welcome to all my colleagues and my dear students for this session. It's my pleasure and pleasant duty to introduce the office bearers of Robotics and Automation Engineering Association for the academic year 2021-2022. The office bearers are Secretary Kaushik Karan GN, final year. Joint Secretary Harish Raja V, third year. Joint Secretary Harsini S from second year too. Treasurer Jai Krishna Chandar K, third year. For RAE magazine, the production manager Girivasan C from final year. Editor-in-chief Anjana VR from third year. Design director Bharat Kumar JK, third year. Proofreader Srikshana S from third year. Executive members are Srikant N from third year, Arigaran R from second year, Arun Kumar D from second year, and the creative designer Utkars SG from second year. I would like to congratulate all of them and welcome them on board. And I take leave hoping that they all become valuable assets to the team and that they accomplish amazing feats together. Thank you all. Over to Arun Kumar.
Thank you, sir. Today amidst us, we have a great and a multi-dimensional personality, Mr. Arun Damodaran, to adorn the event. I call upon Mr. Haris Raja V, Joint Secretary, to introduce our dignified chief guest.
Thank you, Arun. A very fine morning to one and all here. To begin with, I would like to extend my warmest welcome to the dignitaries, staff, and all my student peers gathered here for today's inaugural function. It is indeed not only my pride, but also my righteous duty to introduce the exemplary personality present among us today, Mr. Arun Damodaran, sir. Mr. Arun Damodaran, currently Manager of Applications and Services, Denso Robotics, and also the proud founder of AI Tech, is a person who has a wholesome range of expertise in the field of industrial robotics, and we are fortunate to have him with us today. Mr. Arun did his bachelor's in mechatronics at Bardiyar University between the years 1999 and 2003, and obtained his master's degree in the same field from the University of Siegen in the year 2007. His professional journey began in the year 2008 with him joining Sister Precision Gumba as the software engineer, and he gradually worked his way up to become the manager of applications engineering and supply chain robotics at Denso Robotics. Mr. Arun is a tremendously detail-oriented person and someone who resolutely trusts that gaining knowledge is the first step of wisdom and sharing it is the first step of humanity. It is indeed our pleasure and delight to have you among us today, sir. And we are deliriously awaiting for you to enlighten us with your words of foresight. The spotlight is all yours, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much. And in fact, I'm also happy to share my knowledge and also make sure that I try to open your minds, prepare yourself to make sure that you are targeting the future of automation and robotics in the right direction. Yeah, let me start my screen. So you're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, first of all, for Dr. Prabhakaran and also Radhika Madam for this opportunity. And I'm glad, I have a very long-term association with PhD Tech, as mentioned earlier, right from 2000 onwards. And I still, remember the time I spent with Vinod sir and also with Sivaganation at your PLC lab, CNC lab, and I mean, that has given me a lot of insights and also the confidence to get into a different type of world, and which I'm still now enjoying to be in the field of industrial robotics and automation, even after so many years. And I'm happy and proud, and I hope I've tried to make the presentation on the way. I hope it is going to be of some interest to you. And sometimes you don't have to prepare a lot, but I have a good feeling that it has come up very well. But I will just proceed. So, I'm currently employed as a manager of application engineering and technical services at Denso Robotics Europe. So that means any application, complicated applications which comes into Europe, technical part lands to me, and then I'm trying to support them the way that could be done better. I've been dealing with several hundreds of applications in the past few years, solving technical problems. That has been my important role. And more than that, I have a possibility right now to be in the field of Germany. I mean, in the field of German technology and the Japanese environment, and also in the most important key technology of the market. my interest today is to not just show you the industrial robotic trends, but also provide you a practical perspective. So what needs to be done? What is the important information? How should you approach solving an automation problem? That is my goal today, and I hope you will enjoy the presentation. Yeah. So before I go deeper into my presentation, I would just like to share you a few words of Denso. So Denso Corporation is an entity from Toyota Motor Group. So Denso started developing industrial robots from 1967 onwards. It is more than 50 years in the market. One of the pioneers, I would like to say. And Denso, I'm not sure if many have known the company, but Denso is one of the Fortune 500 companies and one of the top 10, top 3 in the automotive parts supplier segment. And just within Denso, we have about 170,000 employees worldwide, and we are generating a revenue of $48.1 billion, and out of which, most importantly, 10%, close to 9% is spent in the R&D. So we are in the automotive industry. All electronic parts, right from wipers, navigation systems, everything. Spark plugs is one of the main products. So everything within the electronic automotive section is manufactured by Denso. We also have consumer parts, greenhouse solutions, etc. But most importantly, this is exactly what it's looking for. Most importantly, the industrial products are Denso robots, and also industrial controllers, which we are manufacturing as OEM for a known very important customer. And most importantly, you know that QR code, right? So Denso is the inventor of QR code. Not many know about it. And QR code based solutions, that means scanners and relevant products, are also one of our important product in our portfolio. So I would like to share some pictures what Denso has done right from the years. So you can see one of some comical picture that looks comical right now, but these were realistic robots installed in assembly line in 1983, and there has been a few of high-speed assembly lines in 1985 based on made of Denso robots. And there were also some special type of robots manufactured in 1990, used in production, used in processing. You can see one sort of SCARA robot with a very complicated construction. I would never believe that this is going to work now. There has also been on the right side bottom, you can see a robot on a mobile platform, which we call it as a mobile robot right now, but this has been implemented, used in our own facilities from 92 onwards. So this is the most important part, because being Denso, Denso used manufactured robots and used it in its own facilities, in its own factories. That's why the transition gave us a lot of lessons, and that's why we are still now known as pioneers in the industrial robotics segment. So why am I showing this picture? Just to give you an idea, what has a company done, Denso has done in the past few years developing robots. It is not a one day of work. It is not just one year. It has taken several years right now to build some beautiful robots, what we have currently in the market. So my request to you as a robotics and automation engineers is to think in this perspective, to build your own systems that is going to help Indian economy, not just that, also help the whole world. I'm sure that you have young minds, fresh minds. Take this as an inspiration, and then start thinking in this direction. So I don't want to provide you a basic robotic class, but just to give you an understanding of what is 4-axis robot from my perspective and what is 6-axis robot. In a way, 4-axis robot is one of the fastest robot which you can think of and used in the pick and place application, and also best suited for applications in a horizontal plane. 4-axis robot is comparatively cheaper than the 6-axis one and is easy to maintain. So on a comparison, the 6-axis robot is more suitable to its reach. That is, it can reach any given location in a 3-dimensional space within its reach, and also has high flexibility. I've shown you some application which we have made some time back, where you can see the 6-axis robot is moving quite flexibly, which you cannot achieve in a 4-axis robot. Having said that, I would like to present some information covering the latest trends or the direction where the industrial robotics is moving in 13 topics. I will try to make it as short as possible. The one which you can see is a tracking functionality. Tracking means a robot synchronizes with an external axis. It could be a conveyor. The conveyor could be a linear way, or it could be also a circular conveyor. This is these sort of applications are happening, or are used in the whole world for quite some time, and the technology with the conveyor tracking is increasing by the meantime. And the conveyor tracking, you need to send somehow a particular product on a conveyor. It could be used using a sensor, or it could be using a vision system, and then synchronize with the conveyor, follow the object, and then snatch it and place it in any different location you want. So this is one important technology where we are working with, and we have done several improvements with our functionalities. Just wanted to mention here that this is one of the important function currently used in industrial robotics. Or another system with, I would say, just like a human body, sensors are quite important for our body to function properly. Likewise, a robot is just a tool. So you need the respective sensors for the whole system to function properly. So there is one application where the robots are used to trim the black spots on potatoes. This is a common problem in Japan, and then they have solved it using an industrial robot with a vision system attached to it. And on the right side, you can see a really practical problem which our customer came to us. Like, I want to pick a spray nozzle along with the tube and insert it onto a respective bottle. So how can this be automated? Yes, of course, you need a vision system first of all to identify. But how are you going to pick the tube apart with it, along with it? And for that, there is a system called as iFeeder, a feeding solution, which just senses the respective product. But you have to think a bit deeper to solve a problem. So this is one interesting problem solution from Denso along with an iFeeder solution. I just wanted to share this with you. And as mentioned, vision is an important topic for industrial robotics, by not just by the meantime, but it has been quite long time. And the technology is moving in this direction using artificial intelligence, which I'll come back to the next step. So hope this gave you some idea how to approach solving a problem using the technology. And one of the companies where I've supported quite recently is in Netherlands. They are into horticulture, and they are sort of buying like 150 to 200 machines every year for planting of small plants into the soil, and then it could be tulip plants, or it could be tulip bulbs which needs to be identified, picked, and planted. And also, cutting and planting is also a topic for them. And what technology and how the technology is implemented is I'm going to show you just a glimpse, which yeah. So the most important technology used here is a vision system. You can see humans are spending too much time to identify the plants, placing it in the soil, or even tulip bulbs, which is like 3,000 picks per minute are being handled. Using a 3-dimensional vision, you identify the bulbs and then rotate, orient, and make sure that you place the bulbs in the right direction. Again, a planting. So this is one technology or one application which we are working a lot, and we have seen industrial robotic applications, but I don't know if it is a hype quite recently that people are speaking of collaborative robots. Yes, collaborative robots could be an important topic in the future, but not yet, because the collaborative robots are not yet mature enough or ripe enough to be used in the industry, and uh, it is good, but I would say the technology is not yet available. It will take few more years. But what is the solution currently available right now to have a partial collaboration? There are controllers, or there are systems in the market where you can have a partial collaboration. You can incorporate external sensors to make sure that the robot without a fence is inherently safe. That means if an operator is moving close to an application, the sensors detect an external object moving into the field and make sure that you reduce the speed. And when you are too close to the system, the robot automatically stops. I will just give you a short video demonstration where you can see the lady moving into the system. You can see on externally there has been an yellow zone marked and a red zone marked. This is a practical example that the robot slows down when the external object now moves closer to the robot, and when it is too close, the robot stops. So this is exactly an application perspective what you can think of when you want to implement a collaborative solution. So if further details are required, you can get back to me, but I would like to keep it as short as possible right now. This is just to provide you the idea. So apart from that, you can also have full collaboration. That means that you can buy robots such as Kubota, which is a fully collaborative robot, and also use innovative solutions to make the application as effective as possible. So you can see on the right side, a Kubota is sort of dispensing a world map on a sphere. Our colleagues in Japan, they have spent 4,000. I don't know how many hours of time. They've taught 4,000 points to make this application possible. So maybe it would have taken them a week or a few days to teach all the positions. But by the meantime, one company called as Wandelbots in Germany, they have developed a pen where you don't need to use a teaching pendant or move the robot to a particular position to teach the system. It is like a pen. They call it as a trace pen. You just go place it and at respective position, the position is taught based on the robot coordinate system and sent to the robot controller. That means you can quite easily create path points, and the application is generated in few minutes, and no conventional programming is required. So that is where the technology or the trend is also going into. That is as less programming as possible, and that is made possible along with Kubota or collaborative applications quite recently. And one another topic when it comes to the current situation we are facing right now, COVID pandemic, and also into life sciences, the use of industrial robots and automation has improved a lot. And you can see few applications which has been developed by one of our customer to use a collaborative robot to handle the regular pharmaceutical life science applications. And even drones are being used right now as a medium to transfer respective objects to the respective location. Just wanted to give you an idea. This is also somewhere the world is going on when it comes to industrial robotics and automation. Another topic, why Denso is quite successful or very flexible right now, is because of the technology they have thought quite a long time ahead. That is, Denso uses a platform called as Orion. It's called as Open Resource Interface for the network, wherein you will be able to connect quite a number of quite a number of devices, factory automation devices, to its device layer, and you will be also able to integrate several softwares it could be high-level languages, or it could be any external software. You will be able to connect to the Orion platform. That is, the Orion is acting as a gateway. You can call it as a middleware to interconnect devices, and that is where the integration of devices to that of the software is quite made possible, and that has given us a very big advantage. And you will be able to build quite a lot of interesting and innovative applications based on this particular platform. Another solution where the world is moving towards is industrial IoT. Industry 4.0 has been a hype for the past few years, but you need to have a good platform to achieve it. And Denso, having used Orion for the past 20 years, I would say, Denso has been made ready for the IoT for quite a long time. Means, why is Internet of Things, especially in the industry, is required? Is just to improve the efficiency of the facility. To say, it could be 0 ppm, it could be zero defects, or it could be predictive and preventive maintenance. That's where the industrial IoT is a requirement, is a need, and that's where the world is also moving towards. And by adding cloud solutions to it, things get a different perspective. So I just want to also mention you, this is also where the world is moving towards. And yeah. I mean, having said that, there is not just vision systems being the trend currently in the market, but also 3D vision. You can quite recently see that Intel RealSense is offering like €200 or $300 three-dimensional cameras that could be used. Yeah. I'm sorry. So someone have a question?
1 second, sir. 1 second, sir. I'll check.
Okay.
I think now this muted.
Okay,
sir.
now it is better. I thought it was a question. Thank you very much.
Sorry, sir.
No, don't worry. You see an application developed along with a Denso system. A three-dimensional camera is being used, and we have used intelligently Orion platform and also some softwares where you will be able to detect not only the position but also choose the optimum path required for the robot to move to the target location. So this is all done in one particular controller. Earlier, creating a three-dimensional application, a 3D vision application was quite a difficult task. But right now, we are shrinking. The technology is getting updated. Using ROS platform, you can integrate quite a lot of cameras to the robot systems, and this is also an emerging field which you may have to focus, in the future. So another few applications, what I just wanted to show you is the one on the left is a SCARA robot, which has a master virtual access, and the robot is getting synchronized to do its task. It is not a new trend. It has been existing in the market, but it was quite new to Denso robots. But I would say the application itself is very interesting, because when you want to tend a press, which is a continuous operation, you may have to get synchronized to an external master press. If you don't do that, at some particular point of time, you insert a gripper into the press, and then you will somehow get damaged. So to make sure that this is one of the opportunity or functionality which such solutions could be made possible. And Denso is quite closely working with Beckhoff because of its own latest introduction of RC9 controller, where the Beckhoff intelligence lies. You can also see this is an X-planar conveyor system, which is one of the sort of intelligent conveying systems currently in the market. And synchronizing such sort of conveyors along with robots is something no one attended until now, and this sort of technology is going to be seen quite a lot in the future. I thought this is going to be a wonderful solution for quite a number of practical problems what we are going to face. I just wanted to give you an idea. Another solution, which was not able to be imagined quite some time, is handling of such flexible and dynamic grippers. So Denso, we have come up with a bigger robot along with an XTS conveyor from Beckhoff. The conveyor, I mean, you can just check about this particular conveyor in Google later. It's called the name of the conveyor is called as Beckhoff XTS, which is a dynamic location. You will be able to move the respective conveying position quite flexibly, and we have made it quite intelligently to be used as a gripper for such practical problems, which was never possible to imagine quite some time back, because you can see on the right side, the robot motion currently is executed at 1 millisecond real time, so which is unbelievably fast. And the control of the robot motion along with the XTS conveyor is being executed 250 microseconds. So otherwise, this sort of solution is never possible. So I just wanted to give you this as an practical example what could be done with futuristic systems, and yeah, which you can see with so there has been several initiatives from Denso together with several universities, and also this is a trend, or you can also call it as a hype in the market. But there are several solutions based on AI coming into market, and I just want to give you one idea right now. So Denso has developed together with one Japanese university a solution to handle, to fold towels, which is quite easy for us to do it on hand because we have a coordinated system as a human. But it is not the same with industrial robots, right? So there are two industrial robots were used. Several grippers or hand tools were used, and along with this is a sort of a human could be also using a virtual reality class can also operate the robots to fold the towel is also made possible. But just wanted to give you how the system works. Like, you have several sensors connected connected to a particular system, and the information are being aggregated and then put into recurrent neural networks, and then based on the inputs with what you receive, the data output for the control is being realized, and the control commands are executed so that a particular action happens. So I wouldn't go too much deeper. Probably better about recurrent neural network than me. Me being still a student, I just want to give you this as an example. So there are two functions. An external person with a VR class can operate it, or the robot can fold it by itself. You have a camera connected. The data and the position of the towel is being always monitored, sensed, and an output is realized to make sure that the folding is done properly. It is not an easy application. It may look easy though, because coordination with several sensors and control systems has to happen harmoniously. Okay. As a final step, I would like to give you some realistic information. Like the robotics and automation could be a wow factor for you as a student. Yes, you can say you may think that it is all easy and it could be done. Yes, of course, nothing is impossible currently in the market. But you need to be also realistic. Um, uh, what is the return over investment is the biggest question when you will be asked when you want to solve an application. You say, I have innovative ideas, I will be able to use robots for this particular task. But finally, everything will end up with the costing and the pricing. So I just want to give you a short information. If you want to build a system, about 53% of the cost is engineering cost. And when it comes to the peripheral equipments and robot cost, the items which you purchase is normally about 47%. So Denso has several technologies, software and hardware to reduce the cost. But to be realistic, when you want to build an application, finally you call it as a return over investment. How much? When will I be able to get the returns in how many years? That is going to be the basic question. But you need to also understand another term which is called a cost of ownership. It is, if I'm going to install an application, what will be the cost for me for the next 10 years, considering the maintenance of the application and also to make sure that the system is running, right? So cost of ownership is also quite important. And in general, we call it as the engineering cost is about at least 1/3 of the, 1/3 of the system that will be the purchase of the robot. And the rest is all the integration cost. So please keep in mind that you will be able to build interesting applications, but as a final, I would say as an advice or a note or a hint, get yourself exposed to latest technologies. Do remember that robot is just a tool, and the intelligence has to be fed by you. So the intelligence will not happen alone, right? So you will see quite a number of applications anywhere around, but learn to look at applications with a perspective and keep always thinking how could a particular task be automated, right? So also be realistic. You need to also understand your limits. Some applications can't just be automated. So thank you very much. I hope I was not too fast and I didn't push you too much of information. And I hope you enjoyed the information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Actually, you really opened us mind in the recent trends of industrial robotics. To tell you the truth, I don't even have adjectives to describe your the speech. It was really great. You really opened our minds. Now the session is open for questions. If you guys have any questions, please do unmute yourself and ask the questions, or you can use the chat box present in the Microsoft Teams to ask the questions.
No, until the questions pop up, I just want to also mention you that our office A Tech is not located quite far from your PSG Tech. We are located in Hope College, and there are excellent minds at our office, and with a lot of experience. I think Radhika madam would know. And if you have also, if you'd like to get into some robotic technology, learn a bit more, you can also visit our office. I think Radhika madam would be able to arrange it. And yeah, just for your information.
So
Wait, Radhika here.
Hello, madam.
Hi, sir. Sorry, I joined 5 minutes late, and
Don't worry.
actually, some 4 or 5 of our students have been visiting AA Tech the last semester itself.
Wonderful.
We have been into a project, and it's nearing closing. Sure, I'll take all the students if possible. I'll talk to Devdas sir and make an arrangement. That's so kind of you. So kind
thank
of
you, madam.
Madam.
And
so there's a question in the chat box.
Yes.
What type of the question? There is a question in the chat box. It states, what type of computational hardware is used in Denso robots?
What type of, sorry?
Computational hardware used in Denso robots.
What do you mean by computational hardware? Are we speaking about a general hardware, or it is like a PC? So in general, there are different types of hardwares. I mean, you can consider our control is just like a PC, right? Like an industrial PC, and on the top of it, you have a graphical processing unit for the graphical task. And also you need a special memory. So it is like a standard industrial PC. You don't consider it as a separate solution. So I would say the technology comes in where the architecture, the software architecture, the architecture is different. So you have a Windows platform. I would say I would speak of the latest controller. So you have a hardware wherein Windows operating system is installed, and you have a additional unit which is called as we call it as a driver unit, or you can also call it as a robot motion board, motion units, wherein the Windows system sends the control commands. That is where our robot, our virtual robot controller is located. Based on the positions required to move from A to B, the control commands are generated in the Windows operating system, and it sends the servo commands to the robot motion module, which is like a driver which executes the respective motion. So this is the generic hardware architecture. The robot motion with our latest controller happens in real time. I hope I answered your question. It's a bit vague, probably I should show you some more picture, but I think I have tried to answer your question.
Thank you, sir. We'll wait for some more questions.
So, good morning, sir. So,
Hello.
I'm actually doing internship under your company, sir. We actually,
Wonderful.
our aim was to design a thermostat, automated thermostat testing system, sir. And we actually
Wonderful.
came up with our own model, and we've come to the end, as ma'am said, sir. So, sir, I just have a question, sir. Like,
Yes, please.
what is actually the scope of mainly Denso robots in medium and small scale industries, sir? Like, how is it aimed? Like, it's a little costly, sir, but how is it aimed to rectify those issues?
Yes, this is a very important sales question what you're asking about. But I would say, first of all, you need to consider two things. As I mentioned, there is one term called as return over investment. This is most of the companies just look at it like, if I'm going to invest like 10 rupees, I would like to get 10 rupees, the money invested plus 20% of it in 2 years, right? So this is sort of a vague calculation when it comes to return over investment. But as a company owner, as an investor, you don't only have to think of the return over investment. You need to think of the cost of ownership. And I would say certain few of our competitors, you have to maintain the robots. You have to lubricate every axis after every 6 months. But that is not the case with the Denso robots. You install the robots once, and then it is lifelong lubricated, and then you can forget. The system works like 10 to 15 and even up to 25 years without any issues. My problem is to face, I'm facing currently, is to support maintaining a 25-year-old robot which is not available in the market. It has been discontinued for quite long time. So when you think of a customer, you have to educate them to think in the cost of ownership point of view, not just on the return over investment. This is not an easy task. It takes time, but this is going to be a solution. And most importantly, you don't sell the robot. That means you don't sell the price. The most important thing you have to do is to sell the benefits, right? So if you sell the benefits, of course, people who are valuing a quality solution will buy Denso. And probably you have not seen much of marketing from Denso, because it is also a Japanese approach. Japan, our colleagues think that if you have a good product, people will buy, and you don't have to market it. Unfortunately, that's not always true. So that's why you don't get Denso being marketed quite often, even though it is a very good company and a quality products. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, what is the possibility of us getting into Denso? Like, is there a lot of restrictions, or is it any kind of approach we should go?
What do you mean by getting into Denso? Working for Denso, you mean, or?
Yes, sir. Working with them, projects like getting into direct association. Is there any possibilities?
Denso, I would say it depends on where. So Denso, if you are looking for Denso, we have 7 big plants also in India. there are always opportunities. Denso is still known as a very good company for an employee. And if you want to work with Denso robots, I would say the best thing to do is get in touch with the ATech. If there is, we are building several applications quite some time. You may know it, and we are also currently building an innovative solution for the current problem. That is, we are coming up with a diagnostic solution for COVID issue. It means we want to use industrial robots to automate the diagnostic process, which is done in laboratories, which is going to be an innovative solution not only for the Indian market but also the worldwide. And we are working on it. And if there is any requirement, I mean, you can get in touch with the ATech and then just mingle. I mean, for me, what is important is you get to know the technology and you expose yourself, as mentioned. And for that opportunity, I can provide you at ATech.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It was a great experience working under your group, sir.
Wonderful.
Learned a
Thank you very
lot,
much.
sir, regarding automation and robotic arms applications.
Great. Thank you very much.
So there is a question in the chat box. It states, "Good morning, sir. If the students are passionate on getting into Denso, what would be their characteristics you would look for?"
It's quite simple. I always look at dedication and never give up attitude. So, and being in a Japanese company, I still know that I used to write emails at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening, and I get a reply within few minutes. That means it is we are at least 8 hours ahead, and our colleagues are working up to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and they are passionate and dedicated. And quite important is that normally when I mean, it is like a Japanese tradition. You join a company, you die there. So you have to invest yourself, yeah, right? So you have to invest yourself, make sure that you fight, work with the company to make sure that the company grows. So this sort of attitude is quite common with a Japanese company, and especially I could see it live working with Denso. I also paid some visits to Japan also for several times, and I could see realistically that they are working for more than 12 to 15, and even sometimes crazy. They just sleep also 4 hours a day. Yeah. So dedication. Yeah, I would say.
Okay, so there is another question. What are the sensors used in a 6-axis robot?
So of course, what do you mean as robot? A robot is nothing but a few mechanical elements connected, right? So it's just 6 joints. If you want to operate these joints, you need motors and gears, right? So the first thing which comes into the topic is, if you want to have a motor, you need an encoder to identify the position. Otherwise, you will not be able to traverse the respective position. So when you speak of motors, you will not only see encoders. Another topic is you may need a temperature sensor to adapt to the realistical values. You may have to adjust your positions corrections based on the temperature also sometimes. And otherwise, you can also find a few force sensors with collaborative robots. And otherwise, I would say there is no realistic complicated sensors is installed on a 6-axis robot. Yeah, I would say, there is the next question, like where do you see industrial automation using vision systems all over the world in the next 5 to 10 years? This is like I would say vision is like an important a component of an automation system. Right now, you cannot think of applications without vision systems. Earlier, we used to assume we have done a perfect automation system. We assume that the particular object is in place at the right orientation. So you move there and pick or handle the respective part. But by the meantime, you need additional security to make sure that you're doing the right thing. The cameras the industrial vision systems has also reduced considerably when it comes to pricing, and it makes more sense to use such sensors into an application to make sure you provide a quality solution. I would say, you will not be able to see any system in the 5 to 10 years without using vision systems. It is going to be an important part of an automation. Yeah. Another important point is, once you use vision systems, it is quite easy that you will be able to use deep learning, machine learning to build an artificial intelligence solutions quite conveniently.
Thank you, sir. It was really a very interactive session, very knowledgeable. Thank you so much for patiently answering our questions. Always end your day with a positive note, positive thought. With this note, I now invite our Joint Secretary, Ms. Harshini S., to display our gratitude by delivering the vote of thanks. Over to you, Harshini.
Good morning to one and all present here. As the Joint Secretary of RAE Association, it gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks on this special occasion. First of all, I would like to thank our keynote speaker and chief guest, Mr. Arun Damodaran. I'm sure giving us a brief on the recent trends in industrial robotics and automation using the 13 topics was very efficient, and it was really very interesting to know about all these information, sir. These are something that we cannot find in books. Thank you for sharing such valuable knowledge and for gracing this occasion with your presence, sir. On behalf of RAE Association, I take this opportunity to express a sincere thanks to the PSC management, Principal Sir Dr. K. Prakashan, HOD of RAE Department Dr. Vinod, the Program Coordinator of our RAE Department Dr. Subhashini, the Faculty Advisor of RAE Association Dr. Prabhakaran, and all the other faculties of RAE Department. Last but not the least, I would like to extend my gratitude to all the participants of this meeting. Thank you all for giving the RAE Association an amazing kickstart for the term 2021 to 2022. With wishing all the office bearers of the RAE Association best of luck, I would like to end here. Thank you all once again for taking part in the inauguration ceremony. Have a great day.
Thank you, Harshini. Thank you, Mr. Arun Damodaran, for taking your valuable time and encouraging us with your words of wisdom. I thank Dr. Prabhakaran for guiding us in this association to achieve its milestone. I thank all of you present here for this inaugural ceremony. So now we are officially inaugurated. So stay tuned for many exciting events, interesting workshops, and knowledgeable webinars. Thank you, everyone.
So I thank you very much, everyone, and I will take a leave.
Thank you, Arun, sir.
Thank you, Arun.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank
Have
you.
a nice
Thank you
evening.
so
Yes,
much.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you, all of you. Now we can leave the meeting.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you, RAE team. My best wishes for the academic year 21-22.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma.